Okay. Good morning. My name is Elke Lorenz. I'm a longtime member of UUFM and am today's convener. Welcome to the virtual service of the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Manhattan. We are glad you are spending this time with us, be it as visitors, friends, or members. Look to this day, for it is life, the very life of life. In its brief course lie all the verities and realities of your existence. The bliss of growth, the glory of action, the splendor of achievement are but experiences of time. For yesterday is but a dream, and tomorrow is only a vision. And today, well lived, makes yesterday a dream of happiness, and every tomorrow a vision of hope. Look well, therefore, to this day. Such is the salutation to the ever new dawn. Today's chalice lighting is in the spirit of play. We all are playing it up, playing it down, trying to play fair, playing for keeps, playing favorites, playing it safe, sometimes too safe. He plays hardball. They are playing house. I'm playing it by ear, or at least learning to play it by ear. She's tired of playing second fiddle. He is playing right into their hands. Please, can't we all just throw out the playbook and start again? Sometimes we are just played out. It's not always bad to play possum. And what about playing with fire? Let's hope so, friends. Don't you want to feel again that burning within and let it loose? In this moment, may it begin. I would like to see Jonalu lighting the chalice.
I did.
Hello. We are now going to our breakout rooms to say hello to each other.
It's been a rough year or so. I've said that before and I've heard it so often. And we all know that. We're tired of it and we're tired of hearing about it. Last year, originally, play was the theme scheduled for June. Last year. The Soul Matters team thought about it for half a second and realized that no one was ready for play last June. This year, maybe, just maybe, we're ready for play. In fact, maybe this year, we really need it. Did you know that if you keep mice from playing as they grow up, and then you put them with a cat and they run away from the cat, they will hide and stay where they are hidden until they literally die. Now, on the other hand, normal mice that have played in normal mice ways, after they run away from the cat, they hide, and then they gradually test things out. They peer out of their hiding place. They ease out of their hiding place. And eventually they go on and continue their lives and eat. How can that be? How can playing, something so without purpose, so mundane and everyday, have such a profound effect on keeping an animal alive? Play and our past experiences of play may help us emerge from the trauma that we have experienced over the last year or so. Sometimes we think about play as a preparation for adult activity, playing house or playing war. We have a nephew who at 6 years old had an office set up in his bedroom so he could play office. And today he is a city manager. That was inevitable. The idea of play as preparation for adulthood may be somewhat simplistic, though. Play is multi-layered, a unique biological process like sleep or dreams. And I have to note that I've relied a lot for what I say today on the work of Stuart Brown, a psychiatrist and founder of the National Institute of Play. And he sees play, Brown sees play as a biological drive essential to social skills and problem solving. What's more, it's completely consuming. Think of the flow, the idea of flow. It's without any immediate purpose. And of course, it's fun. So let's step back a little first, though. Let's remember play. I invite you to remember your own play as a child. What type of play did you like to engage in? And I'm going to invite you to do a little participatory thing, to go to another screen on your computer or pull out a cell phone or something and go to menti.com, and it's at the top of your screen here, menti.com, and use the code 86838745 to register your answer. And what this is it's a ranking task. So there are 5 options, and you'll be asked to select your first and your second and your third, so forth. So I'll give you a little time to do that, but think about what types of play you engaged in as a child. Maybe you were a soccer player, or maybe you just loved to swing. Oh, things are starting to pop up here. So people have found it. At least some people have found it. Maybe you played games like Chutes and Ladders or Go Fish. Maybe you played Mario Brothers or Pong. Maybe you just wandered in the woods and picked flowers or collected pine cones. Maybe you created stories with your stuffed animals as characters, or played dress up with your friends. Lots of different kinds of play. What were your favorite kinds? I'll give you time to find things and rank them. So we're seeing a lot of imaginative or creative play. That does not surprise me among you youths. But we've got some, other is pulling ahead of video games. That's interesting. We do have some sports people here, and we've got lots of active play, like jumping and running around kind of stuff too. It's really interesting to reflect on our play histories. Maybe this is an easy exercise for you and you can tell really quickly, yeah, that's what I did. Or maybe it's harder. I'll give just a couple more minutes to see if we can get some more participation here. And if the whole Menti thing is too hard for you to figure out, if you want to just put something in the chat, we'll look at that too. It's interesting to think about what all those other things might be. All of this adds together to our unique play history. Each of us has a unique play history. And I am not surprised that among our UUs, we're showing imaginative and creative play in first. So I'm going to stop the share there. You might want to keep that website handy because we're going to come back to it later in the service. Dan and Kathy say most of us grew up before video games. Swings, merry-go-rounds. I would encourage you as we're going through the rest of this service, if you want to put things in the chat, to feel free. It's another way of engagement. But if you're a person who just gets distracted by that, you can just ignore it. You don't have to look at it. But if people want to participate in the chat today, that would be really, really fine. So I want to think about some of the first ways that we experienced play, and kind of think through the different ways that we experience play in our lives. Our earliest play was probably with a caregiver, where you've linked eyes and you maybe you tugged on her shirt, or maybe he cooed some things to you. And then we move into some rough and tumble play. Some of you probably had some of that. We start learning social cues. We start learning limits. We get a sense of safety through reading play signals. And rough and tumble play is one of the kinds of big body play. Big body play helps us learn our place in space, our relationship to the earth. We learn where our bodies begin and end. We learn how they move. We inhabit our bodies. And early in our development, we learn to explore the world not only in big ways, but in small ways too. We manipulate objects. We start to learn, according to developmental psychologist Jean Piaget, that objects are permanent, that causes have effects, that objects fall to the ground. How many times has any parent picked up a spoon or a cup that the baby drops or throws over and over and over? They're playing. They're seeing what happens next. They're learning about gravity. They're developing eye-hand coordination. This child is not deliberately setting out to learn anything. They don't have learning goals. They're just curious, exploring and finding out whatever they find out. They're playing. And Brown says that object play teaches us how to solve problems. And he sees play history as more significant for engineers than their formal education. And we all know about this from the gal or the guy down the street who's been working on cars their whole life. They just know how things fit together, how they work or don't. They're problem solvers. Sensory play. It lets children explore their environment, sticking hands in sand or water or clay or whatever, or wandering around outside and crumpling up leaves and smelling flowers or feeling the rough and smooth edges of rocks. We get to know the environment by being with it, putting our bodies into it. And whether solo or with others, we can let imaginations loose to create stories. It's make-believe, where an empty box can be a spaceship and giants are real. Imaginative play sorts out the world so that it makes sense, it expresses feelings and lives out ideas. And creative play, and we get some of the same benefits there from drawing and painting. And if you want to be inspired, Google cardboard challenge, and you'll see tons of ways that children have designed and built stuff out of cardboard. Kids who will be problem solvers for sure. So sports and games definitely have their place. They provide a whole other kind of connection, playing within limits and rules, understanding those social cues that came from the earlier rough and tumble play. And again, though, we're able to lose ourselves in something. Even as a fan, an observer, we enter the game and lose ourselves. Spectator play has its place too, giving an emotional outlet. There are lots of other ways to classify and break down play, but really they all kind of blend together. So is finger painting sensory play or creative play? It's both. What about an imaginative game of cops and robbers breaking out into chasing one another in a huge, big body, rough and tumble play blitz? The divisions are to better understand what's going on in the brain and body, but more important is what they share in common. We pursue these activities for no reason other than fun, and we are totally absorbed. All the stuff we get out of doing them, problem solving and social skills and such, they're not the point of doing them for the person who is engaged in them. And yet what amazing bonuses we get in brain development from having fun. Evolution has made this amazing process. Children, of course, are the primary players. That's their job, to play. Brown believes, and he has some evidence of this, that those deprived of play become depressed and untrusting. I think Katie put a quote in the chat about that. Their brains are not normal. Some of them may even become murderers. Brown got into this work when he started studying Charles Whitman, the Texas Tower shooter, who'd been an altar boy, an Eagle Scout, and he ended up his life as a shooter. And he had been play deprived, like the mice who keep hiding from the cat who's long gone. Without play, people are less able to deal with stress and less able to relate to others. Really pause a moment and hone in on that. Children deprived of play may grow up to murder. How does our sense of empathy, our ability to face and live life, rely on our knowing how to play? Our very survival is tied into the drive to play. Brown, in a TED talk that he does, shares pictures of a husky dog who's tied up and is approached by a polar bear. And first, the polar bear stares at the dog with this predatory stare, chilling, terrifying. But the husky wags its tail, lowers its head, and offers play signals. And the next pictures show the two animals playing together. Amazing. This predator lets the prey off the hook because playing looked like more fun. So it reminds me of the story of Tacky that Sandy and Adeline shared. Most animals play, and a lot of them do. They play primarily as youngsters. Humans keep playing. Maybe we don't run around playing tag, but we stick with softball, golf, or tennis. We love playing with grandchildren or children. We weave or throw pots or write poetry or do crosswords. We play in our sexual relationships, exploring one another's bodies. We toss a ball with a pet, play Fortnite, or get together with friends. We play music. Or we act in a play. And I would like to do another little minty thing here. 1 second. I have to, let's see. Except I'm still up on the other screen. One second and I'll have this up. Think about what you do to play today. What is your play now? And this is going to be an open-ended question. So you can go to Menti and use that code again, 8683-8745. How do you play? Maybe it's with grandkids. Maybe there's bicycling. Somebody likes to bicycle. I like to bicycle. That's a form of play. It's that active play. It's gardening. Gardening is great play. Digging in the dirt, playing with dough. I love that. Cookie dough, bread dough, pie dough, drawing, reading, watching TV, watching sports. Sports, that fan stuff, that's play. Reading for fun, hanging out with grandkids. There are all these different ways that we continue to play even as adults. Talking and laughing with friends. Laughing is really, really important. We need to laugh. Word games, walking, watching sports, reading, conversation, the non-task kind. Yes, pickleball and raising giant silk moths. I think I know who wrote that. So we have more and more of these showing, and I'm going to put these together and share them in our various ways of communication, because I think we're running out of space here. But this is wonderful. So many wonderful ways that we play. Humans are known as the most neotenous of the primates. Neoteny, that's continuing to retain juvenile features or characteristics, and that's one of the ways that we use play. It helps keep us young, more adaptable, more creative, more open to curiosity and to change. Some even say that play transforms and heals. Kevin Carroll, a motivational speaker, invites his audiences to resign from adulthood for a while, to believe that M&Ms are better than money because you can eat them. And he quotes Einstein as saying, play is the highest form of research. He claims that a ball saved his own life. He was abandoned by his drug-addled parents, and he found meaning on the playground as well as in the library, got a degree in sports medicine, and became one of the first Black head trainers in basketball. He says a ball can change the world. So, as we move into recovery from the trauma we've all experienced, we need to find ways to play, to let go of fear of failure, to let go of judgment, to be in the moment. And if we can do that, we may be able to be the mice who had experience with play as we re-enter the world, rather than the mice who had been deprived of play. If we can play, we may be able to survive. Our closing hymn is Just As Long As I Have Breath, I Will Answer Yes to Life. And Renee Brown will be playing it for us.
I must answer yes to life.
I leave you with words from Marianne Radmacher. Live boldly, laugh loudly, love truly, play as often as you can, work as smart as you are able, share your heart as deeply as you can reach. As you awaken, may your dreams greet you by name, and may you answer yes. As you walk, may all your angels gather at your shoulders, and may you confidently know they stand with you. As you rest, may all your endeavors know contentment and peace. Thank you for being here with us this morning. I hope everybody finds some ways to play this week. And we'll go to breakout rooms to visit for our virtual coffee and conversation.